Hello and welcome to this channel. This is an original fiction audio image book. If you are new to the channel, you're welcome. Stick around for amazing stories, and if you like our content, please like, share, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell. The Childhood of the Earth, Chapter 10, Gluttonous Labro. Madevi was seated on a seat of clouds at a place in the space in deep. She was surrounded by her friends and young women. Everyone was looking intently at Madevi. The creatures sent by Narayan were floating around. Madevi knew everything. The first great battle that was to be fought between Hojimoto and Narayan was also perceived by Madevi. It was impossible to completely destroy Hojimoto. Madevi also knew Hojimoto too was a creation of Supreme Divine. Madevi was engaged in organizing support for Narayan. Unexpectedly, Deval, the sentry of the path between the past and the future, appeared before her. Proffering her respects to Madevi, Deval said, "I have met Anant. He keeps frequently crossing over the past and the future path." Madevi's face flushed red momentarily, and then she slipped back into deep meditation. Madevi prayed to the Supreme Divine and worshipped him. "O Supreme Divine, you are testing us. We are grateful to you, but please help us to resolve our crisis." Suddenly, Madevi was shaken out of her meditation. Several other cosmoses existed other than this universe. Out of those, Madevi take care of one universe. Madevi perceived a huge dark black form called Labro. It was so huge, Madevi was not able to perceive it completely. At last, with some efforts, she could fully see Labro. Gluttonous Labro craves to eat something or the other in the universe. It swallows up the substance of the universe. Whatever comes in its way, Labro would swallow it up. And then there comes a divine person. He too was equally large and had a bluish body. His name was Polostono. Upon arrival, gigantic Polostono stops Labro from gobbling up and restrains it. Then he bundles up Labro in a sheet of air and goes away, carrying the bundle on his shoulder. Madevi perceived this scenario through her meditative eyes. Madevi thought, "This Labro is very powerful. If Labro is brought into their universe, he could prove to be quite handy in combating Hojimoto." Awakening from her meditation, Madevi told her friends about her idea. A woman called Purna said, "Madevi, isn't it against the tenets and laws of the Supreme Divine to get Labro from other universe?" Explaining Purna and other women, Madevi said, "We all are linked with the power of Supreme Divine, and this solution too has been suggested by the Supreme Divine. But Madevi, how shall we be able to go to the other universe?" Deval asked. Madevi said, "Once we begin to attempt, we shall find answers to our questions anyway." Everybody happily approved of the proposal of Madevi. Let us make use of these creatures to travel through this infinite and fathomless universe to reach our destination. These are very swiftly moving creatures. Madevi and Deval sprightly jumped astride a creature. Purna and her other friends had some difficulty in jumping astride the other creature, but somehow the two teams left on their journey. Passing instructions, Madevi said, "We all will remain together. Let's begin from the east." The mammoth creatures set out on the journey. They swiftly passed by large planets like Jupiter and the Saturn. Several smaller planets like the Earth were coming on their way. Later, much larger planets than even the Jupiter too were ahead of them on their path. Many of those planets were moving at greater pace, and their orbital path too was disorganized. They were heading towards the east. A good amount of time was spent. Now a few scattered smaller planets were seen here and there. As Madevi and her party moved ahead, they failed to find a leading link. Everybody's face reflected suppressed desolation. At a distance, Madevi saw a planet. She landed on the planet with her companions. The entire planet seemed desolate and barren, but it looked different from others. It looked as if it was half buried in the universe. Madevi felt that the planet looked weird. All of them descended from the creatures. As they took a few steps, the planet in the form of a young man, resembling a body like stone, appeared before them. The planet too was astounded to see the visitors. Folding his hands in respect, he asked, "Excuse me, ladies, I haven't recognized you." Introducing themselves, Deval said, "She is Madevi, Omar's mother." The planet exclaimed, "Oh, Omar, he is the one who created us all. I am Dara." Calmly, Madevi asked, "Why do you stay in such a condition? Why do you have to live so many light years away?" Dara said respectfully, "When Omar set free all the planets in the universe, wondering about curiously, I came up so afar and then got stuck here. Look at me. Can you imagine where my other part is stuck?" Answering his own question, he said, "The other half is stuck in the next universe." "The other universe?" Madevi asked excitedly. "Yes, Madevi," Dara said. "As it happened, terribly dangerous Labro from the other universe broke open the divider, separating the two universes, and entered our universe." "How powerful could he be?" Deval expressed with awe. Continuing his narration, Dara said, "After entering into our universe, Labro began to hungrily eat up whatever came across him. He began gobbling up stars, galaxies, and other planets. At that time, gigantic Hojimoto too was trapped by Labro. Hojimoto pleaded Labro to release him, but that had no effect on Labro. Hojimoto was about to be devastated, and at that moment, Labro's creator, Polostono, appeared. He released Hojimoto from the clutches of Labro. I had been watching all that from some distance. Polostono prayed the Supreme Divine, "Please bear with me, O Divinity. I don't know what I should do with this Labro." And then, taking along Labro, Polostono went away to the other universe. While going away, he caught hold of me and used me to plug the fissure created in the divider between the two universes so that Labro cannot come back again. Although Labro is gone, but some of his remnants have been left behind." Everybody heard Dara attentively. Madevi said, "Yes, we only want to meet Polostono. A grim battle is about to be fought in our universe, and it is necessary to take Labro in our favor." "Madevi, Polostono has fixed me here so firmly that nobody can extricate me," Dara said. "Do one thing, just enter into this cave and the other end will take you to the universe. That's where my other part is." Madevi beamed with pleasure and her companions too were enthused. Enthusiastically, Deval asked, "Madevi, should you permit we will enter into the cave?" Everybody walked hurriedly as Madevi shook her head. Stopping everybody, Madevi said, "Don't rush up in such unknown and weird place." Having thanked Dara and after praying the Supreme Divinity, they entered into the cave. As the creatures were enormously huge, she asked them to wait near the mouth of the cave. They had some difficulty in traversing through rocks and ditches in the pale darkness of the tunnel, but after some time, they saw the other end of the tunnel. It was white in color. All of them were relieved, but suddenly the white color gradually turned black. A dark black cloud entered from the other end of the tunnel. Loud booming and banging were heard. Madevi and her companions were alerted. Deval said, "This one seems to be Labro. Now what shall we do?" As a matter of fact, it was only a segment of the Labro, but that thick dark cloud was advancing towards them at a great pace. Madevi said, "All of you hide yourselves in some nook and corner." Trembling with fear, they hid themselves in whatever nook or corner they found. The next moment, the thick black cloud was closer to them, and soon after it seemed to have been sucked back through the entrance from where it had entered, as if someone had pulled it back. Madevi and her companions could once again see the white color. Madevi called out, "Rush out through the opposite gate." All of them rushed out the cave and they all emerged out in a different universe. The other universe was of white color and had black dots in it, but there were very lesser objects. Possibly Labro must be eating up all that. Very soon, Madevi saw Polostono before her. He was striving to bundle up Labro. Madevi and her companions looked very small against huge Polostono. Madevi waved her hand to draw attention of Polostono. Polostono saw that. Deval introduced them. Polostono graciously welcomed Madevi and her companions. Madevi narrated everything in greater detail. After thinking for a moment, Polastuna naively said, Labro will come for sure on your side. Thank you guys for watching this video. For more videos, you can visit our channel. Please like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the notifications. Comment your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll catch you in the next part. Till then, bye.